Hey everybody, the Retwiral here, and welcome back to more stories, The Path of Destinies. Okay, so today, I don't know how many I want to do, like whether I want to do 3, and then next session I do 4 in the end, or whether I do 4 and then next session I do technically 4. I don't actually know how this works, like the 4 truths, that might be the last story sort of thing, but I'm not sure. Either way, let's go.
The clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced, or so a scholar in the mountains had told him. Surely the weapon that banished the lost gods could defeat the Emperor. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Iblis stone was hidden there. It was a dangerous artifact. It could corrupt its user into a bloodthirsty monster. Maybe he could find a way to use it, to take its power without surrendering to its wickedness.
Nope.
And also,
not possible.
His old friend Lupino needed rescuing. Of course, Renato had a pretty strong suspicion that Lupino had betrayed the rebellion. But could Renato really leave an old friend to the Ravens?
I still can't help but feel like there's a way of getting Lupino back onto the rebellion side. It probably won't happen, but whatever. So you can't make new old friends. The rebellion was out of time, Renato needed a game changer. Even though Lupino wasn't what anyone would consider a game changer, he could come up with some harebrained schemes. Maybe rescuing him was worth it.
Ah, Lupino. Apparently, the Mad Rabbit had sold a Pegasus that he did not exactly own. Lupino always wiggled out of trouble, given time. But he was out of time. Lupino's frantic message said that the Ravens were going to kill him for being a rebel spy. And that he had a clever plan. If the fleet reached him first, they'd string him up for that. Never mind the winged horse. Or so Lupino had told him over the far speaker anyway.
I'm gonna say, they won't do anything like that. He's parting. He's sided with them. They won't do anything to harm a hair on his head. What I'll do is probably the usual, which is skip the intro scenes, like these.
Apparently managed
because they're still narrated.
The judge by arguing that he hadn't actually stolen a winged horse. He'd only sold it. But wait, where was the prison? The village was empty. Had everybody fled the Ravens?
Oh man. Oh, I was going to say this is working out so well. I mean, to be fair, it is working out pretty damn well. Owned! There you go.
That was odd.
Oh nice.
Renato had
almost
been
leveled
here,
up.
at this exact place, at this exact time. But this time, there were so many more Ravens.
I might actually go down here. I don't think it leads... No, I would have. But I don't think it actually leads anywhere. It's not like a shortcut or anything like finding the core is. But, whatever. Alright, here we go. Level up. That's what I'm after. Oh, it works out so well. Both. Level up. Ding ding.
Faster, stronger, bolder. If only he could figure out which.
He became everything. Oop. Everything. One skill point. Just the one. Oh, there we go. Stun. Oh yes. I have a stunning dash. Oh, that's very useful. Because I can knock them all down. Oh man. If only that worked out better. That's still pretty cool. No, you don't. Ah, awesome.
Lupino would betray him. But now Renato knew that. What would Lupino do if he knew that Lapino going to betray him. Well, he'd concoct some crazy scheme, wouldn't he? Use Lapino's betrayal against him and it would blow up in his face. Maybe he was overthinking this. Well, that would be a first.
Maybe. Oh, there we go. We found him.
Dirty and bloody, Renato finally reached Lapino. The rabbit was practicing his shuffle. Renato recognized the cards. It was Lapino's favorite deck. Oh, I thought you were in danger. I am. The ravens are coming. Oh, the prison thing. Right, yeah, we see this guard owed me 53 ducats, so we made a deal. They're very reasonable people, actually, for weasels. Now, I got a brilliant plan to kidnap Zenobia. We capture Zenobia, we find out what she knows, and that's the whole war right there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
If only.
The Emperor's greatest general, who happened to also be a deadly sorcerer, and, oh, his only daughter? That would be worth it. And it would be nice to see her. He'd always had a soft spot for her. And he felt sure she had one for him. On the other hand, he could still get to the core of the Sky Ripper, even if he couldn't get the whole thing. It must have great power.
No. The Eye of a Lost God must hold great power. Renato and Lapino were back together, but Renato still needed a game changer to save the rebellion. Even though Renato could no longer get the Sky Ripper's armature, its core was still within reach. Maybe he could still harness its power with Lapino's help.
To make the Sky Ripper,
pardon me.
The Transcendent Emperor had wrapped an armature around the Eye of a God. Renato had already let that armature slip away to save Lapino's life. But even its core, the eye torn from a god, surely they could fashion a great weapon from that. The core of the Sky Ripper? Lapino's excited. That's an actual thing that we could just go and get. You've been busy. He sure had. Renato told him all the things he'd been up to. Soon they got to talking about old times, about wages they'd won and lost, and scrapes they'd barely got out of. It was good to be back with his friend. Renato grinned. He had a very good feeling about this.
Right, so I've already done this. I'm just trying to think where I've gone, or where I've done things differently. Unless things have changed because I know the truth about Lapino.
It was nice to be back with his old war buddy. All right. Lapino was a traitor. But still, he was good company.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do this. This makes this level last no time at all. As far as I can remember, anyway. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna say, why is it not loading? The shit? What the hell, man? Is the air gonna be all stale and stagnant again?
There was something sour in the air. Like the earth had ruptured over something that had been fermenting for a very long time.
What could it be, I wonder? Owned! Oh, that's just too good. That really is. Poof! But I still like my usual attack, where it's just grab them and throw them. Well, that didn't work. Crap. Boom! There we go. And we're nearly done.
Renato felt wrong all over. He could feel an almost palpable sickness in the air. And if the land could have tumors, they would look like these monstrous crystals. The forest was quieter than it had been. There were insects, a few birds. He didn't catch the ravens. Renato smelled sick animals and dying. No healthy ones. Getting a bad feeling about this. Maybe Lapino was right. Maybe they should have kidnapped Zenobia instead of coming here.
No, that doesn't end well. In every time we've tried it.
As he held the radiant icosahedron,
Icosahedron?
Renato felt
the
queasy. Like dozens of tiny worms were nibbling his insides.
Nice.
It wasn't healthy to be so close to the eye of a god. How could he use it? He could take it to the observatory. The scientists there could tell him how to harness its ancient power. But honestly, Renato ached to get away from it. He brought the core back with him to the Farfarer. But honestly, Renato ached to be rid of it. Tell you what, said Lupino. I'll take it to the observatory. You attack the Imperial outpost. The Imperial outpost was a vital communications node. Taking it could shatter the Empire's ability to coordinate. And it would be full of secret plans and maps and maybe even rebel prisoners. It was a good target for a hero like Renato. But what if this was a ruse so that Lupino could get the core into the hands of the Empire?
Exactly.
Was Renato ready to take that risk?
Oh, we haven't done that one.
Maybe it was better if he brought the core to the scientists himself.
Yeah, I think I'll meet the scientists. No, the core was far too important to interest to Lupino. The core of the Sky Ripper, even without the armature, there had to be a way to tap its power. The scientists at the Nexus would certainly know how to do that. Could Renato really rely on Lupino to bring it to the observatory? No, it was too risky. He would have to carry the core himself. Even in doing so, would expose him to its unhealthy aura.
Lupino was a touchy rabbit. Renato knew that. You're brave, I know, Renato said. But this is what I was hired to do. Oh, well, at least let me run ahead and warn them you're coming. Renato wondered if Lupino was up to no good. What if the rabbit warned the Empire instead? Oh, but Lupino wouldn't betray him like that. Not again. Before it'd been a fluke. Right?
No.
They finished the trip to the Nexus.
It's been several times he's betrayed us.
He would offer Lupino a chance to betray him, or not to. His old friend deserved another chance to prove true. All right, Renato said. Go.
Oh god. The scientists are all going to be dead, aren't they? Oh, great. Lupino's such a trustworthy fellow. Oh yeah, every time.
Watched Lupino
Chapter
vanish
3,
on the
Growing
horizon.
Pains.
He could feel nausea building in him. He felt ill. Could his knees really be aching this much?
I'm losing
How
health.
could he have handed the core off to Lupino? That was a recipe for disaster.
Are you shitting me? I'm losing my health. That, I don't know why, but I'm losing health. Fuck. It's bad, man. Real bad. I just noticed the, like, green aura. I'm like, ugh. And then I noticed that my health is actually dropping. But thankfully these all have health in them, so
Chest made
it's all good.
music when you opened it. Too bad it was Muzak.
Oh wait, grab him. That was really weird. I'm just kind of like opening myself up at this point. Kill them both. For fuck's sake. Whatever.
Renato
Yeah,
felt
really.
worse. All his joints were aching now. He'd been through beatings that felt better than this. So the core had a kind of poison that could harm you without even touching you. That's new. Well, it had power. The rebellion needed something with power. And how was this any worse than a sword wound? Well, a death by sword was sudden and fair. This was just squalid. A piecemeal death, like old age.
Yeah, it eats away at you, which is quite weird. And also, the fact you don't really get all that much health is probably the worst part. As in, like, health pickups. Not the fact that I have 200 health and I'm saying that's not
Renato
enough.
had given up in the Sky Ripper's armature to save his friend Lupino. But without its armature, Sky Ripper's core was a deadly poison. Energy cannons.
Fuck. Oh wait, I can always just do this. I forgot. Ooh. Right, boom. Oh my god. And again. We should be fine. Yeah, I completely forgot I had a sword that can heal you. Good job, really. Otherwise this would really suck. Whoa. It just sucks that you don't get health from killing enemies. I mean, I think you can? No, you can't. You can get it so that... Crap. I'm trying to concentrate on too many things. You can get it so that killing enemies gives you energy, but I think that's it. Yeah, sadly. Which, I mean, would be quite useful for this. Come on. I don't even know what the hell's happening. There, we got him. Oh. I mean, this isn't where I want to be, but I'll quite happily do it just to get health. It gave me one thing. What a load of crap. Oh. Oh, no, I don't get to choose. Shit. Oh, well. Although, to be fair, this could actually be taking me to where the scientists are. Yeah. And what do you know? They're all dead. What a surprise! Yep, so shocked. I mean, I knew that was gonna be happening.
The observatory was a burning hulk. Dead scientists everywhere. Bernardo found the mad rabbit cowering under a desk. The ravens, they must have known we were coming, said Lupino. How did you... Well, see, I was doing a card trick with my lucky deck, and I kind of bobbled the cards, so I went under the desk to gather them up, and boom! I guess we'll have to take the car straight to the secret base. Bernardo wasn't sure he believed that, but Lupino was talking so fast. It always seemed to make sense. The secret rebel base. Yes. They had engineers there. But wait. Calaveras, the sage in the mountains. Maybe he would know what to do with the naked core.
Calaveras. To the High Sage. The scientists on the Nexus were all dead, and with them gone, so was the plan to turn the core into a superweapon. But there was one more scientist. Calaveras was the expert of the Sky Ripper, but did he have the necessary equipment alone out there in the mountains? We'll find out.
The core was killing him. He needed help.
This is also true.
The sage Calaveras had given him the maps to find the armature and the core. If anyone knew the true name of the Transcendent Emperor, if anyone knew how to assemble the Sky Ripper, Calaveras did. If anyone could heal Reynardo and render the core safe, at least to its bearer, surely it was he.
Let's find out. Oh my. Yeah, I wonder how Lupino survived.
Was the only safe place for a landing. He would have to continue on foot, muscles aching. Calaveras was a scholar, not a doctor. Could he really save Reynardo from the poison radiating from the lost god's eye he was so recklessly carrying?
God knows, but it's worth a try. Okay, that was close. Owned! Nice. That worked out really well.
Oh, this was not a fun way to die. Even if he survived. No one would write ballads about the fox whose knees ached forever, would they? Not unless he paid for it. He hated paying for publicity.
We're gonna go against the same things? Yep. Oh man, the fact you can actually stun them with a dash is the best. Oh, it's because they have a shield. I think so.
Bring more birds!
Bring more birds! I don't know why it keeps going into slow motion. So I'm very curious as to how this story is going to end. With Lupino betraying us once more, probably. I mean, at this point, you're just kind of expecting some kind of betrayal. It's happened so many times before, or so many other times. It's just, you know, the norm.
Walking through the living mountains, there was always noise up ahead. Insects, birds, the croak and flutter of ravens arranging ambushes. But close by, there was only the breeze and the trickle of melting snow. As if every living thing was holding its breath, his poisonous burden to move on.
Owned. I might actually switch my loadout. That sounded weird. From one of the gems. Because one of them is just not helpful. Well, no, I wouldn't say one of them's not helpful, it's more the fact of I think the one that gives me energy on a kill would be more helpful.
Let's do this again sometime.
Especially for this, when I'm slowly dying. God damn it, 10 health. I need more than just one fruit. It's like I don't really get energy very often. I mean, it regenerates on its own, yes, but it's not exactly plentiful. The amount that you get anyway. So I'm just kind of hoping. Yeah, just getting I think it's 5% per kill, which would actually add up. I mean, I made it sound like 5% per kill was crap. Because it sounds it, but if you kill 10 enemies, that's 50%. And quite a lot of the time you're going against a lot of enemies. It's just... the only issue with that is I don't know which one I'd want to get rid of. Gem, it's either going to be the magic protection, or the other one. I don't want to get rid of physical protection because that's proved useful on many occasions. Although to be fair, we might get some healing items here. Oh, I didn't even need to do that, what am I doing? Oh well, no worries.
Time was running out for the rebellion. They might already be fighting the Imperial fleet. Everything hinged on Calaveras' ability to turn an exiled god's eye into something deadly.
Now the question is, how well can he do that? Let's find out. Calaveras, help us.
The core, splendid,
Croaked Calaveras.
where's the armature?
Right, I was kind of hoping you wouldn't need it.
No, I don't. It's just a professional interest. We've got much better prismatics than the old TE ever did.
So Calaveras was an arcane engineer. He fussed at the core all day. He wrapped it with silver chains, and in front of it, he placed a huge round ruby so that it looked like a monstrous floating eye. Ah, so, what is it?
Yeah, I call it the oculum. It's
Oh,
my
wow.
very first death ray.
And it won't poison me?
Oh, no, it's completely safe now.
Anything I should watch out for?
Yeah, try to avoid pointing at any mirrors.
As he loaded the oculum onto the Farfarer, Bernardo was a little concerned about Calaveras. People who were utterly sure of themselves, he had found, were either experts or horribly wrong. Or both. But Bernardo only needed to fire the oculum once. He only needed to destroy one ship, the Emperor's ship, and the war was over. Bernardo plunged into the Imperial fleet. He felt the oculum humming. He no longer felt sick.
Hey!
This was going to be fun. Or at least, it was going to be over.
Nice. Not too bad. So this is where I'll switch out my gems, because I think there's a workbench right at the beginning.
Bernardo resisted the
Yeah,
temptation to
very
fire
nice.
the oculum until the time came. He could sense its
Oh,
arcane
shit.
energies yearning to escape the sage's wrappings. But it wasn't eating him alive. So that was a plus. He felt good about himself. He'd saved a friend, he'd helped the rebels, he'd relied on himself, but he'd listened to others. He felt like the right sort of hero. Wise, yet decisive. Calaveras had been so sure it would work. Maybe he could fire it just a few times. No harm in that, right? But only when he absolutely needed to.
Oh no. I mean, it's firing it off on its own. Use the oculum on the Emperor, of course. It's quite nice. 10,000 XP. There we go, my energy soared through the roof. So yeah, it's pretty damn useful. I'm also just doing this to get back to full fucking health. And then once I'm back there, all's good. Yeah, I forgot that the other gem was Shield Breaker. You know, one that's incredibly useful. Fuck you.
Do we have to stop?
There we are. Yeah, because it basically makes shield grunts not unnecessary, but it makes their shields pointless. Because you could just knock them away. Oh damn. Nice.
Ah, Reynardo's arm was getting tired. The core was no longer eating at him, but he still felt weak. His stamina was shot. But he had the oculum. When the ravens swarmed him, it would sometimes fire its death ray. It seemed to be warming up too, firing more and more often. Maybe he should let it cool off. Yeah, he decided to stop using it entirely.
Oh, really? It seems like it's going to end well. But, I mean... Oh, the death ray is going to end up killing me. That's what I'm waiting for. Yeah, just for it to kill Renato. Okay, so we're only 7,000 away from another level. Not bad, really. Yeah, it seems it's 30,000 XP per level. But I don't know how many more points I need. I think I need a lot. Pretty damn sure I do. Oh. Oh, hang on. Oh, this is different. Yeah, normally you'd zoom across to there. God, you do that for like 16 different... 16 also different stories. That's crazy. But this one's changed a little. Wow, I'm just surprised more than anything. Oh! Yeah, there you go. So now where am I off to? Oh! Oh, I see.
Odd. The oculum was still hot to the touch. He almost thought it was getting even hotter.
It's just gonna explode.
Ridiculous, of course.
Kaboom.
Anyway, he'd only to fire it one more time, and then he could chuck the whole contraption into the abyss. And the Emperor's ship was now in range. Renato squinted. He could make out the line of ravens protecting the ship. Zenobia in front, conjuring. And on the deck, yes, that was His Imperial Majesty, pacing in his golden armor. Renato lined up his shot and fired. Caught in the beam, the ship burst into flames.
Oh, damn.
The ravens and Zenobia exploded. The Emperor, too, exploded. Renato waited for the beam to stop.
Oh.
But it only got brighter, and the oculum hotter. Frantic, Renato pulled the oculum towards the abyss. The ruby burst into flames. The shiny metal casing glowed, then melted. That was good. Now the core could cool off, right? Renato ran. The blast incinerated him instantly, along with both fleets. The shockwave could be felt across all Erda. That winter, with neither Empire nor rebels to rule them, the island slid into banditry. And so began the Second Age of Darkness.
Great. So with that, we just doomed the world.
Some of the choices he'd faced before.
Ooh.
Maybe there were new paths that had opened up. Like those doors he was opening up all over the map that took him to new treasures.
Story number 18, the fox whose knees hurt.
But he'd learned.
What kind of hero are you? A hero who seeks balance, who makes wise yet decisive decisions.
But dangerous if used improperly.
That was the last truth. So the sky, we know that the Sky Ripper core is unstable. So that means all this, okay, all of them are unlocked. I really want to see what happens if I try and interact with it, but I won't do that yet. Okay, so that's the other truth. Interesting. Okay, so let's go. Back to the beginning.
Fluttered to the beginning once again, faster than before, and he fell. The clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced.
It's changed.
Renato knew that using it could go catastrophically wrong, but he was sure he could figure out how to use it safely. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Iblis stone was hidden there. It was a dangerous artifact. It could corrupt its user into a bloodthirsty monster. Maybe he could find a way to use it. to take its power without surrendering to its wickedness. And also, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing. Of course,
Key?
Renato had a pretty strong suspicion that Lapino had betrayed the rebellion. And he had a gut feeling that he needed to use that to his advantage.
Oh, that's changed. Interesting. So the fact it's got a key, I'm assuming, is what you need to unlock the truth. The true truth. Okay, that's quite cool. Iblis word reminds you of a game. Is it Sonic 06? Because someone's mentioned that before. I don't know, I've never played Sonic 06. Actually, yeah, I have. I played like 10 minutes of it at a friend's. And I didn't realise it was a very, very terrible game. But apparently, I think there might be a city in that game called Iblis, but I don't know. By the way, so even though Lapino... Yeah, I don't need to read it again.
Renato finally realized that Lapino was a traitor to the cause. And maybe Renato could use that somehow.
Oh god, it's... Ooh. Okay. This is cool. So... Wow, alright. So we're not piecing together the truth, but... Interesting. I want to find all the other stories before I move on this path, though. That's cool. Either way. So he was prepared to forget about that, so what to do with the knowledge about Lapino's treason? Who knows, maybe Lapino's treason was all just a fluke, due to unfortunate circumstances. I doubt it, but... Yes, that's right, Renato should just rescue his friend and forget anything bad had ever happened. Oh, that's awesome. I like that.
Apparently, the Mad Rabbit had sold a Pegasus that he did not exactly own. Lapino always wiggled out of trouble, given time. But he was out of time. Lapino's frantic message said that the Ravens were going to kill him for being a rebel spy. And that he had a clever plan. If the fleet reached him first, they'd string him up for that. Never mind the winged horse. Or so Lapino had told him over the far speaker anyway.
We all know it was just a crock of crap. Is Lapino... I don't know what Lapino is. I know he's a traitor to the rebellion, so does that mean he's a double agent?
Lapino,
like working for the rebels, telling us he's working for us,
arguing that he hadn't
and is an enemy of the rebels.
Horse. He'd only sold it. But wait, where was the prison? The village was empty. And
yeah.
Everybody fled the Ravens.
Talk to Lapino. Well, we need to find him first. Which is easy enough. He's in the same spot every time.
People were frightened these days. Just 2 weeks passed, Renato had sneaked
I need to look out for an altar
and listened to the Ravens call about the Emperor's new taste in ritual sacrifice.
Yeah, because I think I have 2 or 3 skill points. I think I only have 2, actually. I'm curious if I do have enough to max all of my skills out. I don't think I do, but... Or if I'll get enough experience to max them all out. Or really depends. That was weird. Alright, whatever. So only ever... I think 30,000 must be the max. Ritual sacrifice. Yep.
He needed to
right, so I need...
to figure out what all his experience had brought him.
I need 3, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 12... I need 14 points. 14 levels? So the max level is 45. Technically. God damn, that's a lot. Getting stronger. Yeah. Recover from being hit almost instantly. I think I might just go with that and that. I guess I'm a kick-ass master now. Once I get to 20 combo. Oh! Come on. Oh, not a wraith. Fuck! Woohoo! That was lucky.
Lapino would betray him. But now Renato knew that. What would Lapino do if he knew that Lapino was going to betray him?
Wow.
He'd come to subspace's scheme, wouldn't he? I used Lapino's betrayal against him and it would blow up in space. Yeah. Maybe he was overthinking this. Well, that would be a first.
There we go, we found him.
Dirty and
I exploded
bloody,
in my
Renato
face
finally reached
and
Lapino.
really hurt.
The rabbit was practicing his shuffle. Bernardo recognized the cards. It was Lapino's favorite deck. Oh, I thought you were in danger. I am. The ravens are coming. Oh, the prison thing. Right, yeah, see, this guard owed me 53 ducats, so we made a deal. They're very reasonable people, actually, for weasels. Now, I got a brilliant plan to kidnap Zenobia. We capture Zenobia, we find out what she knows, and that's the whole war right there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Capture the Emperor's greatest general, who happened to also be a deadly sorcerer, and, oh, his only daughter? That would be worth it. And it would be nice to see her. He'd always had a soft spot for her. And he felt sure she had one for him. On the other hand, he could still get to the core of the Sky Ripper, even if he couldn't get the whole thing. It must have great power.
Indeed it must. Right, Sky Ripper. The Eye of the Lost God must hold great power. Ronaldo and Lapino were back together, but Ronaldo still needed a game changer to save the rebellion. So, yeah, I read that before. Now I'm reading it again.
The transcendent Emperor had wrapped an armature around the eye of a god. Bernardo had already let that armature slip away to save Lapino's life. But even its core, the eye torn from a god, surely they could fashion a great weapon from that. The core of the Sky Ripper? Lapino was excited. That's an actual thing that we could just go and get. You've been busy. He sure had. Bernardo told him all the things he'd been up to. Soon they got to talking about old times, about wages they'd won and lost, and scrapes they'd barely got out of. It was good to be back with his friend. True, the core was capable of terrible, uncontrollable destruction. But this time, he was sure it would work great.
Yep, this time's gonna be different. Oh, I'm sure. So the only problem with going along this path is the fact that Chapter 3 and 4 kind of suck, because you constantly have your health being drained.
Lapino was a traitor. But still, it was good company.
Alright, so get the Sky Ripper's core. It's probably my favourite level, because it's one you can get through incredibly quick. Well, it just seems shorter than all the others, I think. That might be actually be it.
There was something sour in the air. Like the earth had ruptured over something that had been fermenting for a very long time.
It's ravens. Yes, they get off. They give off one hell of a stink.
I've been inspected recently.
Wait, what, Paul? I'll be honest, I don't even know what the hell he's on about. Oh, nice. Oh, I can just kill all of them. Yes! Look at that, it's pretty damn useful. Not gonna lie.
Bernardo felt wrong all over. He could feel an almost palpable sickness in the air. If the land could have tumors, they would look like these monstrous crystals. The forest was quieter than it had been. For instance, the few birds. He didn't have the ravens. Bernardo smelled sick animals, dying. No help. I'm getting a bad feeling about this. Bernardo thought. Maybe Lapino was right. Maybe they should have kidnapped Zenobia instead of coming here.
Nah. Getting the calls much quicker.
The radiant icosahedron, Bernardo felt queasy. Like dozens of tiny worms were nibbling his insides. It wasn't healthy to be so close to the eye of a god. How could he use it? He could take it to the observatory. The scientists there could tell him how to harness its ancient power. But honestly, Bernardo ached to get away from it. He brought the core back with him to the Farfarer. But honestly, Bernardo ached to be rid of it.
Yeah, this is where it starts slowly killing me.
I'll take it to the observatory. You attack the Imperial Outpost. The Imperial Outpost was a vital communications node. Taking it could shatter the Empire's ability to coordinate. And it would be full of secret plans and maps and maybe even rebel prisoners. It was a good target for a hero like Bernardo. But What if Lapino lost the core to the Empire? That could be a good thing, couldn't it?
Not if they have the armature.
Ready to take that risk?
If they have the armature, then they can make a very powerful weapon.
Himself.
And I'm pretty sure they probably do have the armature. So I think the way the choices work is whatever you choose to not do is what the Empire go and do. Except for, like, well, Lapino, it would still be rescuing him because he is a traitor. Or a rebel spy. Yeah, we've done this one before. Only issue I need to do, only thing I need to do now is make sure I go to
Renato said.
Meet the council.
This is what I was
I
hired to do.
think.
Oh, but at least let me run ahead and warn them you're coming.
Yeah. Instead of meeting Calaveras. That was it.
Up to no good.
Of course he was.
The rabbit warned the Empire instead. Oh, but Lapino wouldn't betray him like that. Not again. Before it'd been a fluke. Right? They finished the trip to the Nexus in silence. He would offer Lapino a chance to betray him, or not to. His old friend deserved another chance to prove true. All right, Renato said. Go.
I mean, not gonna lie, Lapino's one hell of a cunning rabbit. He gets all of the scientists killed and then just makes it out as if he, you know, was picking up his cards from underneath a table and somehow didn't get killed.
As Renato watched Lapino vanish on the horizon.
Oh great, now I'm starting to die. Hooray!
He felt nausea building in him. He felt ill. Could his knees really be aching this much? But how could he have handed the core off to Lapino? That was a recipe for disaster.
Why would you even let Lapino go ahead? It's just asking for bad things to happen. Oh well, never learns his lesson, does he? I'm very glad that the game actually tells you what the path to the truth is, and it signifies it with a key. I really like that. And I really wonder how else it's gonna play out. Oop. Like the first thing is to, I guess, go after Lapino. Shit. It's probably like go after Lapino, then Zenobia. It'll be something to incorporate all of the different things. So the Iblis Stone, the Sky Ripper. Oop, I actually do want to be over here. Etc.
There were a lot of shiny, smooth, and curved. Renato felt
Whoa,
worse.
that was weird.
All his joints were aching now. He'd been through beatings that felt better than this. So the core had a kind of poison that could harm you without even touching you. That's new. Well, it had power. The rebellion needed something with power. And how was this any worse than a sword wound? Well, a death by sword was sudden and fair. This was just squalid. A piecemeal death, like old age.
Just makes it look like Renato's got really bad body odor. Oop. Right, so now I can pull this. Avoid getting hit by more fireballs. There we go. I wonder if I could just stand here and not get hit. Never mind. Seems that's too much to ask. Oh yeah, just use this. Up. Oh, great. Kill them all. No, you don't. Oh, man, there we go. Now I can kill all of them. Fuck me. I should have assumed that was going to hit me. Bullshit. Right. I know there's some health in here. Also, this is taking me to the end of the story, so... or end of this chapter. So all's good. If I go to meet the council, surely I'm still gonna be dying on chapter 4 and chapter 5. Which just makes things more difficult. And there we go. All the scientists are dead. Lapino. I mean, I'll be happy to do the truth and kill him. I wonder if the truth is just going to be a series of boss fights. I do wonder.
The observatory was a burning hulk. Dead scientists everywhere. Bernardo found the mad rabbit cowering under a desk. The ravens, they must have known we were coming, said Lupino.
I wonder how.
How did you... Well, see, I was doing a card trick with my lucky deck, and I kind of bobbled the cards, so I went under the desk to gather them up, and boom! I guess we'll have to take the car straight to the secret base.
He didn't really explain himself,
sure
does he?
He believed that. But Lupino was talking so fast. He always seemed to make sense.
I mean, it's pretty obvious that it was him that caused them.
Yes. They had engineers there. But wait. Calaveras, the sage in the mountains. Maybe he would know what to do with the naked core.
Right, so secret base is where we're going. We're all dead, and with them gone, so was the plan to turn the core into a super weapon. Bernardo could still bring the core to the rebel base. The engineers there would tinker something, hopefully before he dies from the core poisoning. Yeah, hopefully.
Yes. The secret base. Not even Lupino knew where it was. They had engineers there. Those toads would surely know what to do with the core's power. And then he'd be free of it.
The top choice is what I did with the last story I did, so...
work its evil on him too. You stay here. Give me the coordinates. I'll meet you there.
The choices I'm making currently is to meet a specific,
to have the coordinates of
like,
the
story
secret
requirement.
base. Someone needs to bury these scientists. But why do I get all the fun jobs? And with that, Bernardo returned to the Farfarer and took off.
We're only gonna meet Lupino in Chapter 5, probably.
The ruins were quiet, but Bernardo could hear a buzzing in his ears.
Go home, you are sick.
Was it bugs? Or was it the core slowly feeding him poison? The council would know what to do. If the core had this much power, it could surely change the terms of the great battle that was coming. And maybe they would take this burden from him. Maybe.
Yeah, no worries. It's just... I don't mind suggestions. Oh god. It's just that I've done... Well, there's 24 possible stories. And I've done 18 of them.
Peter.
So I only have 6 of them left.
Goggler. He wondered if Peter had known he was protecting the
Shouldn't keep doing that.
Or was he just another brave kid, making his mummy proud?
Oh yeah, because Peter was the one that had the book, but he died and wasn't able to go back through the book. Like, the book is what's kept us alive. Oh wow. Owned. Yes. Not sure if I'll get any level up.
And left him behind. He'd recovered a weapon and it was killing him.
Yeah, fun.
And the Empire's greatest scientists were dead because he'd asked their advice. Bernardo for the win.
I mean, it's not Ronaldo's fault the scientists died. Letting that douchebag of a rabbit go first is the problem.
Bernardo had signed on as an adventurer.
Fuck.
Sure, the Emperor had gone mad. Sure, Bernardo had heard horrors from the ghosts of dead kittens and puppies sacrificed in his blasphemous rituals. But when he jumped in, he'd only been a little bored and slightly broke. And here he was, carrying a bucket of death across a broken landscape. Why not drop it and run? Because he hated to quit in the middle. That was his fatal flaw. He had to know how it all turned out.
Also, yeah, Lupino is a bad guy. On one of the stories you find out that he's a traitor, and many of the stories end with him stabbing Ronaldo, the guy we play as, in the back, or in the chest. Basically just stabbing him to death. That's why whenever it pops up saying like he has to go rescue Lupino, or could rescue Lupino, it's like, but he's pretty sure he's a traitor, or he betrayed the Empire. Stuff to that effect. Yeah, the game's got some pretty fucked up stories, to be honest, but it's a really good game. I'm just taking my time to get every single story because I've been really invested in seeing all the different outcomes. Oh, pardon me. It also gives you like a summary of what happened in a story when you've done it.
Entrance to the council chambers.
Get that thing out of here!
Oh.
Croaked the speaker.
It's making us sick!
Oh no!
That's the core of the Sky Ripper, said Renato.
So it's gonna kill all of them now.
No, it's not useless at all.
Said an engineer toad.
It's poisonous. Look at the fox. He's ill. Probably dying.
Yeah, not useless at all, said Renato. So what do I do? Rub it on His Majesty? The engineer chuckled. Renato didn't like it when engineers chuckled.
Oh, I got it. Listen, I can make a bomb and spread bits of the core all over a circle about 100 paces wide. Yeah. Little chunks of poison and death. All you have to do is just get it near the Emperor.
Oh my.
Kill him and his bodyguard and chop off the head of the fleet. Yeah, and if we're lucky, might poison some of the ravens around there as well.
What about me?
Right, what about you? Well, I'll build in a timer. You can set it and run.
No, that's a horrible idea, said Renato.
Well, we had to do something, yes,
said the speaker.
This is something.
Renato couldn't argue with that. And so, reluctantly, Renato loaded the rigged core onto the Farfarer and set sail towards the Emperor's ship. The rebels took the fight to the Imperial fleet, but Renato was too sick to enjoy the view.
Great, so he's still dying.
He passed out as a firm hand grabbed him and shoved him forward. This was it.
Fantastic. Also, I don't know if it's possible to get through without being stabbed. I think that might be the true ending, but I'm doing every other story before I go and do the true ending.
The fleet seemed very big, and its ravens very
But every ending
tough.
has resulted in some sort of
Maybe
death.
he was just slower and weaker than before.
Either burning
He
alive
hated
because of
idea
the sun,
poisoning the enemy. It wasn't fair.
being stabbed to death by someone
Face
that's
to
gone
face with the
insane.
raven, let the
Oh, there's
best
just so many.
swordsman survive. But they wouldn't even know what was killing them. Feather by feather, scale by scale. He didn't mind dying a hero. That sometimes went with being a hero. He didn't feel at all like a hero. Not today.
Because he's too fucking sick. Use the dirty bomb on the Emperor. Yeah! Right, so this one's probably going to end the same way as the last. In terms of the layout of the map, anyway. I probably won't hook across to the Emperor's ship like I have done on so many other stories. Whoop. Ah. Nice. As my health just slowly ticks down.
I got his friend, he's a swan. Can he join up? He dyes his feathers.
There's another.
He was exhausted.
How's the combat? It's just
He
so
was making
fast.
Stupid mistakes. His fur was coming off in bunches. Up ahead, he could see
Ugh.
the Emperor's ship, long and sleek, a floating palace. The bomb would only poison a circle 100 paces wide. He would get as close as he could, set it, and run. Oh, this was a lousy way to win a rebellion, he thought. He didn't want to medal for this. He just wanted to be forgotten.
Oh dear. Although that sounds awful. His fur was falling off in clumps. How miserable. How the hell did I miss? Wow. There we go. Would hope if I could hit my enemies. Oh man, I thought I could have done it. I really want to get through all those fireballs without getting hit and just hook across. It's a lot harder than you'd think. Like, I tried dash, don't work. Okay, so it is the same as last time. Alright. Going up. Oh, it's so weird. I'm so used to the stories ending on that boat down there. It's just weird to be up here. What the hell? There we go. All death. Okay, having that at 20 kills is awesome. There we go, I think I've reached the end of the story. As the camera pans out, we see the Emperor in the distance. Don't see Zenobia though.
Renato twisted the timer and the bomb as far as it would go and staggered off. His knees hurt. Oh, everything hurt. He staggered away as far as he could until he had to lie down. He could see the entire Imperial fleet from here and the rebel ships engaged with it. There was a blinding flash. And a second later, a monstrous thump. Burning rocks arced across the sky over both fleets. A wreath of fire shot outwards, rolling across the fleets. A pillar of smoke boiled up from where the Emperor's ship had been. It reached into the clouds. That's a wee bit more than 100 paces, thought Renato. It took Renato most of that evening to die. Some of the toughest ravens lasted all week. Some of the rebels in the furthest ships survived as much as a month. That winter, with neither empire nor rebels to rule them,
Also, it ended the same
the
way.
islands slid into banditry. And so began the second age of darkness. Oh, again? But he already had all the secrets he needed. He was sure of that. He must have not used them the right way. What was the best, worst mistake he could make? Probably trusting that traitor Lapino.
So, okay. Story 19, A Bucket of Death. A hero who condemns his enemies to a slow and painful death. Not much of a hero. Continue.
The book's pages fluttered to the beginning once again. Faster than before? And he fell. The clouds parted over the Isles of Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced. Renato knew that using it could go catastrophically wrong. But he was sure he could figure out how to use it safely. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Iblis stone was hidden there. It was a dangerous artifact.
Dangerous.
It could corrupt its user into a bloodthirsty monster. Maybe he could find a way to use it. To take its power without surrendering to its wickedness. And also, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing. Of course, Renato had a pretty strong suspicion that Lapino had betrayed the rebellion. And he had a gut feeling that he needed to use that to his advantage.
Aha! Alright. So, it's, I think, if I remember rightly, what we need to do is rescue Lapino, go after the car, meet... Oh no, attack the outpost. And then something else. I can't remember what is after attack the council, to be honest. Either way, Lapino! Again.
Renato finally realized that Lapino was a traitor to the cause. And maybe Renato could use that somehow.
He could, but he ain't gonna.
Lapino. Apparently, the Mad Rabbit had sold a Pegasus that he did not exactly own. Lapino always wiggled out of trouble, given time.
Hey Zephyr,
But he
how's
was
it
out
going?
of time. Lapino's frantic message said that the Ravens were going to kill him for being a rebel spy. And that he had a clever plan. If the fleet reached him first, they'd string him up for that. Never mind the winged horse. Or so Lapino had told him over the far speaker anyway.
It was all a bunch of bollocks. That's good. I'm glad. Right. God, third and final time I have to do this story.
Lapino had apparently managed to confuse the judge by...
So I think the rest of the stories are all to do with finding the armature.
Winged horse. He'd only sold it. But wait.
That gold key is what leads to the true ending.
The village is empty.
At least I think. I'm not entirely sure. But it would make sense. But before I do the true ending, I want to do all the others first. This game's awesome.
The Ravens had taken the town. Renato had seen villages emptied like this. All the people taken away to be sacrificed in the Emperor's secret rituals. Renato hoped the people were just hiding.
This is more an action RPG than a hack and slash. Whoops. Alright. More ravens.
Who's your next of kin?
Oh damn. Kick them apart. But the combat is very, very fast paced. Once you get used to it. Oops. Oh god. It might look like a hack and slash, but it's definitely an action RPG.
Lapino would betray him. But now Renato knew that. What would Lapino do if he knew that Lapino was going to betray him? Well, he'd concoct some crazy scheme.
Fuck. Didn't want to do that.
Lapino's betrayal against him and it would blow up in his face. Maybe he was...
Oh wait, I'm not actually out of combat. Whoops.
That would be a first.
I leveled up. Nice. No health. Son of a bitch. And boom. Lapino, you've been saved.
Dirty and bloody, Renato finally reached Lapino.
It doesn't remind me of Fable
Was
at all.
practicing his shuffle. Renato recognized the cards. It was Lapino's favorite deck. Oh, I thought you were in danger. I am. The Ravens are coming.
Oh, the present day.
Thing. Right, yeah, we see this guard owed me 53 ducats, so we made a deal. They're very reasonable people, actually, for weasels. Now, I got a brilliant plan to kidnap Zenobia.
No.
Capture Zenobia, we find out what she knows. And that's the whole war right there. Easy peasy,
Lemon squeezy.
Capture the Emperor's greatest general, who happened to also be a deadly sorcerer, and, oh, his only daughter? That would be worth it. And it would be nice to see her. He'd always had a soft spot for her. And he felt sure she had one for him. On the other hand, he could still get to the core of the Sky Ripper.
And kill
He couldn't
himself.
get the whole
Slowly.
thing. It must have great power.
Alright. To the core.
The Sky Ripper.
Again.
The transcendent emperor had wrapped an armature around the eye of a god. Bernardo had already let that armature slip away to save Lapino's life. But even its core, the eye torn from a god, surely they could fashion a great weapon from that. The core of the Sky Ripper? Lapino's excited. That's an actual thing that we could just go and get. You've been busy. He sure had. Renato told him all the things he'd been up to. Soon they got to talking about old times, about wages they'd won and lost, scrapes they'd barely got out of. It was good to be back with his friend. True, the core was capable of terrible, uncontrollable destruction. But this time, he was sure it would work great.
No, it's still just gonna probably poison him to death. But whatever. I mean, they're not wrong. It is a very powerful weapon. It's just you need the armature for it to work
Thought Renato.
properly. Otherwise it just poisons you.
Back with his old war
I have a
buddy.
bad feeling about this.
All right. Lapino was a traitor. But still, he was good company.
Whee! Down into the well. I don't know if going into the well is actually quicker than going up top, but it's what I've done for so many stories. I'm just kind of used to doing it at this point. Yeah, I'll go with Flame. I can't remember what it's called. Flame Brand?
There was something sour in the air. Like the earth had ruptured over something that had been fermenting for a very long time.
Interrupted story time.
God, the lead raven.
Huh?
We'll never find out how it ended.
Oh no! Holy balls, there's a lot of ravens. Jesus. Oh, you douche. Okay, I'm not grabbing any of them for some reason. No, you fuck. Wow. 3 times. Oh, damn.
Renato felt
Yeah.
wrong all over. He could feel an almost palpable sickness in the air. And if the land could have tumors, they would look like these monstrous crystals. The forest was quieter than it had been. There were insects,
but few birds. He didn't count the ravens. Bernardo smelled sick animals and dying ones. No healthy ones. I'm getting a bad feeling about this. Bernardo thought. Maybe Latino was right. Maybe he should have kidnapped Zenobia instead of coming.
Fucking douche. That's not all of them. Oh, there's a first. I mean, I should just wait for the scorecard to pop up. Combat report! Then I know combat's truly over. Right, we got the core.
As he held the radiant icosahedron, Bernardo felt queasy. Like dozens of tiny worms were nibbling his insides.
I was about to say, this never happened with the Iblis Stone, but I suppose it's because he combined
How could he use it?
the core with the Iblis Stone.
He
They
could
kind of
take it to
cancelled
the
each other out.
observatory. The scientists there could tell him how to harness its ancient power. But honestly, Bernardo ached to get away from it. He brought the core back with him to the Farfarer. But honestly, Bernardo ached to be rid of it. Tell you what, said Lupino. I'll take it to the observatory. You attack the Imperial outpost.
Yeah, this doesn't sound like a terrible
The
idea at
Imperial
all.
outpost was a vital communications node. Taking it could shatter the Empire's ability to coordinate. And it would be full of secret plans and maps and maybe even rebel prisoners. It was a good target for a hero like Renardo. But what if Lupino lost the core to the Empire? That could be a good thing, couldn't it?
Maybe.
Was Renardo ready to take that risk? Maybe it was better if he brought the core to the scientists himself.
Right, so... anything to get rid of this creepy feeling, Renato thought. Got the Sky Ripper, even without the armature, there had to be a way to tap its power. The scientists at the Nexus would certainly know how to do that. If he could rely on Lupino to bring them the core, Renato would instead assault an Imperial outpost and gain valuable intel for the rebellion. He would also stay away from the core's unhealthy aura. True.
Trust me, Renardo, you won't regret this. I'll treat the core like it was my own baby daughter. As the Farfarer dived towards the Nexus, Lupino was jumping up and down with excitement.
Yeah, no wonder.
Stop rabbiting around, Renardo said. Lupino just stared.
He's
at him.
overjoyed because he's got something for the
ship
Empire.
landed. Lupino leapt off the ship.
Just anything he does, I just instantly don't trust. And it's usually right to be that way, because he's a dick.
As
Oh,
Lupino
chapter 3,
vanished
trust.
into the wilds of the Nexus,
The one thing I don't have for Lupino.
Renardo vaguely remembered Lupino had a baby daughter, didn't he?
I do remember this,
And he
kind
told
of.
her mother he was going out to get some Easter eggs, and he'd never come back. But Renardo was relieved
Jesus.
not to carry the core anymore. He was already feeling better. Who knows, maybe this time Lupino would get it right. And if Renardo could take the outpost, he'd have access to all the Empire's communications in the sector. Right? This was a roundabout way of getting there.
On the plus side, I'm not dying over time. I'm not being poisoned by a car anymore. It's pretty nice. Oh, that's awesome. I love Winterthorn. Like, its ability is actually
caught his breath.
really good.
His joints still hurt,
Oops.
but he couldn't feel the poison in his system anymore. He let the armature slip out of his hands to save his friend Lupino. Of course he had to let Lupino take the core. The rebellion needed every man doing his duty. And the rabbit would be no good taking on an Imperial outpost, right?
I don't even know how close to the Imperial outpost we are. Oh no, I think we're getting there. I remember that chest. Sticks out in my mind pretty vividly. Oh, we're here. That was hard. Oh, snap. Oh shit. Well, there's that. We did it. Actually, seems to be
took
quicker.
the outpost with a song in his heart.
Yeah.
Soon, he was stuffing his sack with key messages from and to the fleet. Then the far speaker toad chortled a new message. The observatory had been sacked by ravens. Lupino and all the scientists had been taken to the mountains. Why? Why had he trusted Lupino
I
again?
do remember this.
And now the Empire had the core. Renardo hailed the rebel base to warn them. But their far speaker didn't crouch back. Was the base under attack too?
No, I do. I remember it was the Rescue Lupino, find the core, attack the outpost and rescue Lupino again. God, I'd forgotten about that. I did that so long ago. Shit. So something was wrong at the base. Entrusting Lupino with the core was a foolish idea. Now he and the core were in enemy hands. Maybe the Imperials wanted him to rush out and rescue his friend to distract him from the real danger at the rebel base. Maybe he should leave Lupino to his fate and investigate the base. Yeah, we should, because Lupino is in cahoots with the rebels. Not rebels, with the Ravens. With the Empire is what I meant.
Have to wait. The core would have to wait. Renato had a very bad feeling that something was going terribly wrong at the rebel base. Its location was secret, but secrets can be discovered.
But does Lupino know where the rebel base is? Because if he did, I'm surprised it's not been attacked sooner. Yeah, but
there were
I guess we'll see.
Imperials everywhere in the ruins, and dead civilians. The Ravens were killing everything in sight.
Sparkly.
Renato was relieved to see no rebels among the dead. Maybe the secret base was still secret, but there were huge burn marks on buildings.
Ooh.
Monstrous weapons was the Empire using here. The core had great power. Had they harnessed it somehow, even though they didn't have the armature?
What if they did have the armature? I get the feeling that might be what has happened. It doesn't look any different though. It doesn't look like it's been ransacked or destroyed. Everything looks the exact same as what I remember.
Right.
No, you don't. Ah, very
Renato
nice.
thought about the intel he'd gathered from the outpost. Who would he bring it to? Who even had time to read it?
Oh, nice. Ha! Oh, that worked out great. My style was meh, because I just froze them to
Charred
death.
flesh and hear screams. The ruins were on fire. The Ravens had rigged up the core as some kind of burning ray. They wouldn't need to know the secret location. They were burning everything. It was killing them too. Their black feathers littered the path. He would have to take the core from them. It was the last thing he wanted to do.
I don't need to do that. It's all good.
Didn't your mother tell
Made
you
it.
it's rude to stare? Snapped Renato, a little smug.
Wondered why the hell that came out of the blue, but it makes sense because he just killed a goggler, which are nothing but an eyeball. I don't really care about my style points. No, it's awesome to just kill stuff in one strike. Oh, which I can do now. Yeah! Very good, we did it. We made it! Are they all dead? Actually, oh, they aren't dead. But it is on fire. Oh. It's just the fact that this hasn't been moved, which you'd think would show that it's not been accessed. Though I guess that's not the case. Oh.
As the last Raven fell, Renato felt worse than he ever had. The core was killing him again.
How was it killing him when he doesn't even know where it is?
Cautiously came out into the smoke. You saved us, croaked the speaker. They would put the weaponized core deep in a cavern, she promised, where its poison could harm no one. They would heal him if they could, she said. No, he's a weapon now. We need one. I'll lead the charge. It will kill you, croaked the speaker. I guess it already has, Renato said. She bobbed her head gravely. When all this is over, she said, we'll name our new capital city for you. He flew towards the Imperial fleet, a myriad ships in disciplined formation, waiting for the signal to destroy the rebellion forever. Behind him, the rebels were charging. If he failed, they would die. And so the final battle began.
Ah. So the core was there, at the rebel base. The Imperials must have took it with them, I'm guessing.
Everything hurt.
A capital idea.
Pleasant to fight this way.
It's got the gem on it again.
Blow he struck with his sword, he felt weaker. Yet each time the core fired, it got brighter. As if the heat from the burning
great, I'm dying again.
buildings only fed its
Fuck.
hunger. He wondered where Lupino was. Wasn't he supposed to be in the battle? No.
He'd been captured, hadn't he? Oh, Renado's mind was smoking like the burning fleet. He hoped this wouldn't take long.
Oh, there we go.
Having a pet. Well, like having a goblet for a pet.
Might want to switch back to my hero sword so I can heal myself. Every now and again. Guess I'll probably need it. Yeah, with the bloody car constantly killing me. I mean, Ronaldo, when he stood still, just looks ill. Yeah, like, really ill. Nice. Alright, I think we have to fight more stuff on here. Wait, I should use the Void Blade. Whoosh! Actually, the Void Blade's quite crap. With its special power. All it really does is allow you to attack faster. At least with Flamebrand and Winterthorn.
Now you... Reynardo... Opolis. Opus Major... Lando... Nardo.
I have no idea what the narrator's saying.
If they were going to name a capital
Oh.
city after him... Well... He just wished he had a better name.
Okay.
Where's Lupino? He missed Lupino's bitter outbursts. Or did he? Lupino had gotten him into this mess, hadn't he?
Yeah.
Wonderful weapon swept fire across the fleet. Ravens exploded in its gaze, and with every heartbeat it grew brighter. He would die. But he would die every inch a hero.
Ooh.
Spectacularly, changing history like the legendary heroes of lore. Or
Yor.
was it Yor?
It was Yor.
He couldn't remember anymore.
Legendary Heroes of Lore. Ah, yes. Oh my. I'm still surprised that we have the car. Like, why was the car at the Rebel base? Was that to say that the Ravens took it there, or that Lupino did? But he took it to the observatory, so I don't know, I'm just confused. On the plus side, having the car is quite a nice ally for this battle. Even if it is going to kill us. Oh, there we go. All dead. Woo! Oh, there we go. Nice, we got some health. There's the Emperor.
Reynardo fell to his knees. The Emperor's bodyguards were lined up before his ship. Fierce ravens, all. And Zenobia.
Oh, fantastic.
Conjuring. He could not take another step. All he could do was fire the core. The ravens, Zenobia,
fuck.
the ship, all burst into flames, disintegrated.
This happened already,
Blew
did it
away.
not?
So they had one, after all. The core grew brighter.
Ah, there we go.
He shielded his eyes, but he could still see it through his sleeves and through the flesh of his arm.
Oh god.
And then he felt heat, as the fire grew to consume both fleets. And then he felt nothing.
He died. Great.
Oh, again?
Again?
But he already had all the secrets he needed. He was sure of that. He must have not used them the right way. What was the best, worst mistake he could make?
So, Reynardopolis.
Probably trusting
Kind of hero
that
are you?
traitor Lupino.
A hero who goes down in a blaze of glory. Trying to think whether I should do one more story and then end the session or end it now. I'm not sure. No, I can do one more. Solid.
The book's pages fluttered to the beginning once again.
This is where things
Faster
go
than
different.
before?
We don't go after Lupino.
And he fell. The clouds parted over
The
the Isles of
Isles of
Boreas. It was time to choose. The rebellion was in trouble. Ravens were scouting for the secret rebel base. They needed a game changer. Pieces of the Sky Ripper had surfaced. Reynardo knew that using it could go catastrophically wrong. But he was sure he could figure out how to use it safely. Also, a temple had risen out of empty desert. The Iblis stone was hidden there. It was a dangerous artifact. It could corrupt its user into a bloodthirsty monster. Maybe he could find a way to use it. To take its power without surrendering to its wickedness. And also, his old friend Lapino needed rescuing. Of course, Renato had a pretty strong suspicion that Lapino had betrayed the rebellion. And he had a gut feeling that he needed to use that to his advantage.
Oh-ho! Right, so... the Sky Ripper. An ancient artifact that defeated the Lost Gods would indeed be a game changer, though it was split into 2 pieces many years ago. Renato could rebuild it by first getting its armature. Let's do this.
Every child knew about the Sky Ripper. The
Oh, this will be different dialogue,
had buried its pieces deep. And then, this Emperor's horrific sacrifices had brought it back to the surface. Renato wasn't exactly sure how to use the legendary weapon. But surely, there must be some way to do it without provoking another catastrophe. Had he, somehow, summoned the long-lost components of the legendary weapon out of the deep places of the Earth? It was more than Renato could fathom. But if he could find a legendary weapon, he would use it.
Damn right he would. Where's that?
As he set foot on the island,
Oh yeah.
Renato couldn't
I
help
remember
feeling
this.
a bit
Emperor season.
curious. Was Lapino still waiting to be rescued?
Doubt it.
He was probably drinking champagne with the ravens. Did ravens drink champagne?
Did rabbits?
Did rabbits? Renato felt oddly thirsty. Think of it. Why had he chosen the sky?
Oh god.
Renato never made plans that required constant vigilance. He was a hero. He didn't think too much. He just went with his gut and hoped it all worked out. The Sky Ripper was a long shot. He'd have to devote himself to it. No side journeys, no rescuing old friends. The people who built this castle
I'm just zooming through.
know what monstrous weapon lay hidden within their walls. The Sky Ripper could destroy anything it touched, or so the legend said. As the Transcendent Emperor had fought the Lost Gods, thousands of thousands had died. But Renato had been through wars. The only merciful war was a short one.
Oh damn, look at all these ravens. Oh no, I can kill all of them! Boom! Oh yeah. Very nice. Yeah, I must be going too fast for it to be like skipping over the dialogue. Oh fuck.
Renato hated
Bad.
gogglers, but it freaked him out to cut them.
Oh dear, that was really weird. Oh my god. Oh, I'm just really fucking it up. They take off 50 if they see you, which is really shit. Oh, these don't give you energy back. Or maybe they do. No, they don't. Well, that kind of sucks. It's fine though. I am getting my energy back. Whoops. I prefer killing them with like an execution, not kicking them off a cliff. Oh, there is one more. Yeah, whatever. There they go. Oh yeah, it's puzzle time. The hardest puzzle ever. Oh, wait. Oh, I'm an idiot. Jesus. I ain't done it in a while, so I'd forgotten how it worked. But there you go. I think you only have to press one of the switches, or each switch one time.
He wished he had his friends here, so he could amaze them.
And there's the armature. Boom. Oops. Oh, there we go.
There it was.
We did it.
Sky Ripper's armature.
Easy enough.
The stuff that dreams are made of. Engineers' dreams, anyway. The device was intricate. No one alive had the skill to make a thing like it. How was it part of a weapon at all? He'd have to ask a scientist. But first, he'd get the second piece. Sky Ripper had a heart. A core that had come to rest on the next island. Well, there was another island he could reach. Zenobia had just invaded it with her father's Raven battalions. She must be encamped there still. But fighting Zenobia now, that made no sense at all. He'd already sacrificed one friend to get this armature, was it? He didn't need to hurry to face her. She would find him.
There we are. Find the core. he needed to get the core of the Sky Ripper, obviously. Ronaldo has found the armature of the Sky Ripper. Without the core, it would just be an empty and useless shell. The only reason one would seek the armature was to build the legendary weapon that had once banished the lost gods. Obviously, Ronaldo should get the core. I agree.
It was a no-brainer. He'd sacrificed his old friend Lapino to get the armature. And the armature was useless by itself, only a series of coils and wheels. War demanded sacrifices, and he would make more before the end. He would have to choose the greatest good, no matter how much it cost him. Zenobia. Well, he would see her sooner or later, across a battlefield or a sword's point before all this was over. He was sure of that. The power was in the core. Obviously, he had to get the core.
But of course. Like, I remember doing, like, I think this was one of the first stories I did, was finding the armature, finding the core.
They were so big and so old. They'd been there before he was born, and they'd be there after he'd passed into legend. Was he confronting his own unimportance? What had got into him? He was no philosopher. Anyway, who cares? He was plenty important. He was a hero, and soon he'd prove it.
Yeah, with the armature. No, not the armature, with the Sky Ripper. Could not remember the name of the bloody thing.
There was something sour in the air. Like the earth had ruptured over something that had been fermenting for a very long time.
And ravens! Oh wow, I didn't even fucking throw them the right way. Oops. That's what I'm after. Oh, there we go. Now they're all ready to die. So I need 6,000 to level up. I think I'll probably get that before the end of this story.
There are only these huge crystalline growths. Had those been here before? He no longer heard birds except for the feverish cawing of the ravens when they attacked. He couldn't smell the small animals of the forest. The mice, rabbits. Where had they gone? And he was getting hungry too. This was an unhealthy place to be.
Oh, come on. I was going to say, I'm certain I held X to grab it. So what the heck happened? Owned! Yeah, I definitely will get a level up by the end of this story. Boom! Car got.
The 20-sided core made him feel physically sick. Once he had sneaked into a temple of the dark art, and he hadn't liked what he smelt and saw there.
That's what the stagnant air was.
As quick as he could, he wrangled the icosahedron into the armature. The wheels began to spin, then glow. The sick feeling quickly spun away. Now he only felt sad. He had lost good friends for this war apparatus. Maybe Lapino wasn't such a good friend. Yeah, that made him feel better. He carried his prize back to the Farfarer. Now, he had to make his next move. There was a key Imperial outpost on the Nexus. If this really was some sort of super weapon, he could use it to wreak havoc on the enemy. And if it wasn't, well, better to know that before the final battle. But maybe he should show it to some scientists first. There was an observatory on the Nexus. Maybe he should go there before he fired it.
Aha! Okay, so seek help from the scientists. The Sky Ripper was complete, the super weapon could put an end to the Emperor's madness, but had Ronaldo assembled it correctly, would it work at the critical moment? The scientists on the Nexus would surely give answers.
Well, of course. If you've just assembled a weapon out of legend that can exile gods from the world, you'd want to have a scientist or two look at it. And even if they disagreed and he had time, he could ask Calaveras himself. Yes, the observatory would be his objective.
But of course, yes. Alright, I'm not entirely sure how much is going to be left of this story. There's 3 more chapters, but each of them are very short. Can be very short. All really depends.
Why had the parts of the Sky Ripper only surfaced now? Thousands of years after the Transcendent Emperor had dismantled it. The mad Emperor Isengrim had performed terrible, bloodthirsty rituals to invoke the lost gods. Was that why these ancient artifacts were rising out of the ground? How perfect, then, that the Sky Ripper would reappear to be his destruction. And, hopefully this time, just his
destruction.
Yep, let's hope. I'm probably gonna finish the game today, to be honest. Not in this session, but I'll probably just say sod it and record it later. Just because then it's done, and I'm really kind of curious as to how the game does end. Okay. Oh right, I don't even need to grab them. I didn't realise. Oops. I didn't want to go over here. I do that every fucking
The
time.
legendary weapon was exactly what the rebellion needed. They were outnumbered. The once kind emperor had become a tyrant. But his ravens stayed loyal, for he fed them his victims, and the other animals were too frightened to rebel. Renato shuddered at what the emperor was trying to do. To bring back the lost gods, the Black Harvest, the Black Sun? No. He would stop that toad, no matter what the risk.
Okay. Is he on about... He can't be on about the current emperor. Fuck me. It just doesn't sound like it. I just don't think the current emperor's been doing, like, blood rituals. Or, no, blood sacrifices. There we go. We're safe. Wow. Or not. This looks like the firewalls still managed to get through. Oh dear. Actually, I don't need that. Ah! Yeah! Oh god, Jesus. They all attacked at once. Oh, there's still the Wraith. Crap. And I keep forgetting that my dash is knocking them down.
A for effort, D
Ooh.
for dead.
910 XP. I've definitely gotten a level at the very least. So that's cool. I don't know if any more of the stories will reward with a level. So where are the scientists? They're not dead! Woo! There's a first. 90% of the time we come here, you just see toads everywhere. Like, sprawled out across the floor. Not this time. They're alive.
Renato was thrilled. The scientists seemed to think he'd put the Sky Ripper together right. But one toad was worried.
Yeah, the Sky Ripper could tear a hole in existence itself. There are invisible strings that tie the universe together. If the Sky Ripper cut one, the hole would widen and widen until our whole existence fell into it.
Another toad sighed.
Irving still believes in string theory. At least go see Calaveras.
Yeah, said the worried toad.
He knows more than anyone else has forgotten about the Transcendent Emperor.
If anyone could tell him how to use this weapon safely, it would be Calaveras. It was he who had told Renato how to find it in the first place. But maybe he had to give up on using it as a weapon. Maybe he had to go to the secret rebel base and ask the generals there what he could do with a weapon that he dared not use. One way or another, there had to be a safe way to use it.
Calaveras! He would know. So, the Sky Ripper could destroy existence itself. If there was the slightest chance that was true, Calaveras, the High Sage, was the final authority in legendary artifacts. If anyone could dispel Renato's doubts, it would be him.
Well, he should have known he'd have to consult Calaveras again. The scientists at the observatory were smart enough. But what did they know of the Transcendent Emperor? He hoped it wouldn't delay him too long. The rebels had scheduled the final battle soon. Every day they delayed risked the exposure of the secret base. And some soldiers were already drifting back to their homes and families. Calaveras would fix the Sky Ripper for him. And then he would win the final battle.
Where's that? Yes. I still like that dialogue. He still believes in string theory.
Cold. But after a few steps, Renato's optimism started to slump. What if Calaveras couldn't help? Did Renato dare use the Sky Ripper?
Oh, he hated that he'd chosen this path. It was so much simpler to rescue friends and attack enemies, even if some of those friends were more trouble than his enemies, and some of those enemies had been friends before and might be lovers after. No, it wasn't all that much simpler, no. Physics made his brain hurt. That, at least, he was sure of.
Yeah, it's a very messed up situation. He's got someone he was very close to, who's now an enemy. He's got someone who he was also a pretty close friend with, that is now a traitor. Ah, Ronaldo just can't catch a break. So it would appear. Just sucks. Sucks to be Ronaldo. Poor guy. Oh wow, there's a lot. No, you don't. Yeah, get rid of the wraiths. I don't even know what they're known as. I don't think they are the wraiths. Well, whatever.
He tried to focus on the now. The ravens who seemed everywhere all the time. Where did they hatch from? Were there giant raven hatcheries somewhere, or did they have families? He didn't want to think about raven mummies raising their darling raven chicks. Yeah, Calvaris would help. He would make Ronaldo feel better about using the Sky Ripper. And then Ronaldo wouldn't have to worry about ravens ever again.
Yeah, sounds about right. Right, just go down here. I don't need to worry about that chest. I've already... I've dealt with that multiple times. You go near it, enemies spawn and they want to kick your ass. Standard, really. Did I kill that one on the floor? I didn't. Whoops. Maybe. No, you don't. Oh! Oh! Whoa. I do like the fact I can just attack from anywhere. It's pretty nice. Ah, that's all of them. Booyah! 24,000 away. Oops. I don't know how close to the end of this place we are. I think we're nearly there. We've still got to get past the... I don't exactly know what it is. It's not exactly a trap, but there's a lever you've got to activate to get rid of some icicles. I think that's what we're approaching now. Pretty... yeah, it is. We go over here. It's just at the end of all these hooks. Essentially. Kaboom! Oh, come on. If only you could upgrade your reach. Oh god. That was almost terrible. Oh crap, I did put that back up. Oh well.
We're counting on Ronaldo. He hoped Calaveras knew what he was doing.
I kind of hope so too. Otherwise, this is gonna end real bad. Alright, we made it. Oh, level up. Shit, level up. Oh, what do I want? What do I want? I think I'm gonna go with that again. Increase my distance. Yeah, sure. Calaveras, help!
Calaveras had never let him down.
Except this time.
Of course I can make it work better.
But when Ronaldo explained about the strings, Calaveras grew thoughtful.
Oh, strings, you say? Well, the Arcana do speak of the ties that bind the world.
He drew many intricate symbols in the dirt.
Yeah, so, according to my calculations, each time you fire, I'm afraid there's a 1 in 120 chance you'll destroy the universe.
That's pretty good odds. That's like rolling, what, 21 dice and they all come up 6. What are the odds of that?
What? No! It's more like 2.716s in a row.
Anyway, with those odds, it won't happen if I use it just once, Ronaldo said. Although he wasn't sure that was entirely right.
Yeah, no, that's not right. Each time you use it... Okay, look, just don't use it ever.
All right, I guess. As he sailed towards the fleet, Ronaldo could see the dropships of the rebels coming out of the clouds. This was it. The big battle. They could not afford to lose this one. What if it didn't go well? What if he had to use the Sky Ripper? Could he risk the entire universe in the throw of a dice?
Yes. If you die, it'll just reset you. It's fine.
2.71. 6 in a row. He had a feeling they were surprisingly good. That is, bad.
Anyway, the odds were big. His brain was hurting again.
So technically, if he fired it 128 times in a row or whatever, at least one of those shots would end the world.
The battle was not going spectacularly
Chapter 5,
well.
no other choice.
What had the rebels been thinking? They'd been thinking he would bring the Sky Ripper, or the Iblis Stone, or that he'd sideline Zenobia somehow, or turn her. Couldn't he use the Sky Ripper just once? After all, if chances were 1 in 128, that meant he'd for sure be okay the first time. They'd get worse each time he used it, but the first time would be okay, right? He wasn't sure that it was right. So he didn't fire the Sky Ripper. He just brought it along, in case.
Oh. I'm gonna say the Sky Ripper's not actually helping. Interesting. I thought it would have actually, you know, just destroyed or attacked anything it came across, but no, it doesn't. For once. It's like one of the only stories where the Sky Ripper isn't helping. It's quite a surprise, really. I don't mind, because the combat's, you know, or the fights are pretty damn easy anyway. Oh, there's one more. Whoops. Off he goes. I think what I'll do is finish the story, or this story, read all the stories I've gotten, and then that can be the session. Oop. Yeah, just so then I don't forget. Because I like to read the summaries.
I told him the odds didn't change
It's just fun to do.
because you'd had a streak of good luck. His gut told him that was wrong, though. And he always listened to his gut. On the other hand, 128 chances to win. But one of them, he'd destroy the universe. That seemed a bit serious.
A bit.
Maybe he could defeat the Emperor without firing the Sky Ripper. Maybe he could bluff, but with a real weapon. Like in cards, when you had 3 knaves, but you pretended you had a fizzbin.
What?
That could work.
Fucking are nods and fizzbins.
Do old ravens go grey? You know what? Don't worry about it.
Okay. Oh, Christ. I'm trying to understand that joke. The Grey Raven? As soon as I heard that, I was like, Oblivion? That's the Grey Fox. Oh god. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what that reference is. This game's it's filled with references to other games. And also just internet memes and all sorts. It's pretty cool, honestly, just hearing them being quoted. It also has a reference to a really, really old song from Bananarama. I don't actually know what the song... I think the song's just called Na 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 Na. Or was it Hey Hey Hey? I can't remember. But no, I heard that quote from Ronaldo on the day when I'd actually recently heard that song. Like, on the radio, or... I don't think it was the radio. I can't remember what it was. It was one of the music channels that was being listened to. Whoop. We did it! End of the story. This story. There he is! What's with the big ass brutes anyway?
Let it warm up.
We've not fought them once.
Zenobia came out, flanked by a very daunting platoon of ravens.
Oh god.
Actually use that. She said in that annoying, I know everything because I'm a cat and you know nothing because you're just a fox voice she had. Oh, I know the odds. Good. Because there's a real chance you could destroy the universe. No, not the first time I use it. The odds are too low. What? No? Yeah, sure. The first time, the odds are practically nothing. They only go up if I use it a bunch more times. No, but that's not how odds work. Didn't you pay attention in class? Now surrender, or I'll use it. Just once, he said.
Don't. He felt sure the odds were with him. You have to go with his gut. That's what heroes do. Fire, he said. Please? The Sky Ripper fired. With a tremendous whoosh, the Emperor's flagship went up in flames. It was awesome. And then he noticed
A black
there
hole!
was a hole
Oh
in the
no.
air. A blackness, like a tear in a parchment. Wind was blowing into it, widening it. It grew larger, and even larger. Crates fell upwards into it, and the world itself seemed bent.
like the reflection on a curved mirror as it poured into the ravenous hole.
Well,
1 in 128. What are the odds? Thought Renato, and then everything fell into the hole and was gone.
what are the odds? Higher than you'd think.
Again?
Again?
But he already had all the secrets he
There we go.
needed. He
So,
was sure of that.
the Sky
He must have not
Rover's
used
Guide
them
to
the
the
right
Galaxy.
way.
Oh, wow.
What was the best, worst mistake he could make?
A hero who is willing to risk
Probably
space, time,
trusting
the
that
universe, and
traitor
everything
Lupino.
if the odds are in his favour. Well, wait a minute, this one ended the same way as that one. Kind of. Well, it's the same sort of picture. Either way. So, the fox whose knees hurt. The Sky Ripper was a legendary weapon that could banish the gods themselves. It was split into 2 pieces, a core and its armature. Renato had lost the armature to save a friend, but he had the core. A naked core. Pulsating with energy, bleeding an unhealthy poison, slowly killing anyone who would carry it. So began a race against time to turn the core into a weapon. The road was fraught with bad luck, and Renato was forced to visit a hermit, a retired scholar who had very little chance to save the day, but the scholar knew exactly what to do. Just like that, Renato had a super weapon. But as rebels and Empire fought in the final battle, a giant blast incinerated the entire battlefield. And at the center of the blast, Renato and his super weapon. Oops. A bucket of death. The Skyrip was a legendary weapon that could banish the gods themselves. Split in 2 pieces, a core and its armature. Renato had lost the armature to save a friend, but he had the core, a naked core. Pulsating with energy, bleeding an unhealthy poison, slowly killing anyone who would carry it. So began a race against time to turn the core into a weapon. The road was fraught with bad luck, and Renato had barely the strength to take the core to the rebel engineers. They jury-rigged the core into a dirty bomb, just powerful enough to kill everyone in the Emperor's ship. Renato, greatly weakened by the core's poisoning, carried his mission with success. The Emperor died, so did Renato, all the Imperials, and all the rebels present in the battlefield. Engineers. So, Renatoopolis. So the Sky Ripper was a legendary weapon that could banish the gods themselves. It had split into 2 pieces, core and armature. Renato had lost the armature to save his friend Lupino, but he had the core, a naked core pulsating with energy waiting to be turned into a weapon. Renato was driven by a practical decision. When Lupino begged to carry the core, he agreed to make best use of his friend. And when Lupino was captured, he left the rabbit to his fate so he would save the rebel base. When he recovered the core from the Imperials, which they turned into a deadly weapon, he seized the opportunity to lead an assault on the enemy. But the Imperials' tinkering could not tame the core. It grew unstable and scorched the battlefield. Finally, the Sky Rover's Guide to the Galaxy. The Sky Ripper, the legendary weapon that had banished the gods themselves. Renato had assembled the super weapon, but even a hothead like him knew he should deal carefully with such an ancient and powerful artifact. So he consulted with the experts who warned him that the weapon could destroy the very fabric of space and time. It was a question of probability. 1 chance in 128 to destroy the universe. Well, for Renato it meant 127 chances to destroy the Empire. He liked those odds, so he fired the Sky Ripper once, just once, a hole in space-time ripped open and swallowed the entire universe. Boo! Pretty bad. Either way, we only have 3 more stories to uncover, and then after that, I can actually do the true ending, which I'm very excited to see how that plays out. It's going to result in the death of Lupino, which is a bit of a shame, but at least I think it is. I don't know, but we'll find out. Either way, that's going to be the end of this session. Thank you so much for watching, I hope you have enjoyed, and until next time, take care.